Hey, welcome back, and thanks once again for taking time out of your day to spend it with me going over another model build. So what we have here is the Star Trek Klingon Katinga class battle cruiser model, and this is a commission build that I'm going to be doing for a customer. And we've got all of our pieces in here, clear pieces. There's a base here, instructions and decals. A lighting kit that he purchased, that he sent along with it, that he wants me to install in the model. Then we got the wings here, and the other half of the wings, and other pieces. So this is the lighting kit that he got, that he has asked me to install. And what we have here are some clear red pieces, which I'm assuming would replace the clear pieces that come with the model. And we've got our LEDs here, pre-wired LEDs with some plugs on the end that plug into this board here, and then a battery supply, although I'll ultimately be using a AC supply. And there's even some photo etch in here, looks like, for some other detailing around the model kit. And this is really a beautiful kit. You look at the wings here. Painting is going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of feathering here with different shades of green and different colors, and it's just going to be quite the kit to be painting. But a lot of nice fine detail in this here. Even the rest of the kit, you look at it, the nacelles here, really nice, defined, sharp, crisp lines throughout the nacelles. Finely detailed. This piece here, which is the back of the ship, a lot of nice fine detail. The rest of the kit is just, I'm really impressed with this. It's bipolar lights, and it's just a very nice, clean, crisp, detailed kit. And this is gonna, again, require a lot of painting in here. All these little different pieces are different shades. So it's going to be quite the paint job for this particular kit on here also as well. Different shades, colors. And we have all the rest of the pieces here for the kit. And then we have the windows here, which will be lit with the lighting kit. And then this photo etch that came with the lighting kit is to go over the existing windows, and there's also some other pieces here that go around the outside for more fine detail. Alright, so I'm pretty much going to follow the instructions here and start from the beginning, and because of the nature with the lights, I'm going to build this in subsections so that I can paint. So I'm going to start out with the front of the ship here. We have these pieces here, and this inside area is where these, you know, the spherical part of the ship, they fit inside here like so. And because this kit is a little different than Bandai and definitely needs to be glued, I'm putting these pieces in position in this flat piece to hold it, but I'm going to glue inside so that that will hold it in place for me. So I'm just going to use some Tamiya extra thin cement here and run that into the seams of those three spherical pieces and let that flat piece hold it in position for me until it dries, and I can just pop it out, and there we go. It's nice and clean and no gaps or anything in the seams. Then we've got this photo etch here, the windows that go around the top portion of this, and we have, these are the window pieces that come with the kit, and the photo etch goes on the outside, but they don't quite line up with the windows. So what I'm going to have to do is cut away and make this gap bigger here so that when the photo etch is laid on top, you'll actually be able to have light come through, and you'll see the windows better showing on the photo etch because of the gap there. And you can see what I'm talking about right here, how it shows through. So with that done, I'm going to glue these pieces into position, and they go around the edge like so, and then the photo etch will wrap around the outside. So I'm going to glue those in position again using this Tamiya extra thin cement, which is something I've recently discovered that I love. It just goes right in there and dries super fast. It makes it really easy and makes pretty clean seam lines. And so I've got those glued into position here. So with that done, I'm going to move on to the upper portion, and we have all these pieces that make up the bridge and some other areas of the ship. And I've gone and I've gotten this all glued. Again, I used that Tamiya cement, and those are glued and ready to go. And then there's this red plastic clear piece that has windows in it that will go on top here. And then I have a resin top that goes on top of that. And then there's also this little plastic piece that goes on top for more detail with like some type of array or something. Then it's on to this midsection here, and we have all these pieces, and this is where another window goes. And I've gone and I've glued this all together. And on the bottom side, it's got a couple pieces that go up front here, and it has some pieces that go on either side. So I'm going to go ahead and glue in these little portions on the underside front, and glue in these little things on the sides here. Then there's these clear pieces which actually have an LED that will go in here, and it lights up the end here, kind of like lights shining out the back. The rest of it is all painted the body color. So anyway, I've got all these pretty much ready to go, and then they're all gonna fit together like so. So moving on, I'm going to glue this photo etch into position over these windows. And this ended up being, for whatever reason, a real pain for me, and it was very difficult. It actually took a couple days for the glue and clamping and all that. But anyway, I've pretty much gotten it done here. The windows are shining through. I have a piece of tape holding this last section here that's still drying. And again, it was a pain, but I managed to get it to work. So on this upper portion here, we have the bridge, and that's what these clear red plastic pieces for. What we have here is, you can see that there's some windows here, which is the bridge, and the rest of it needs to be painted the body color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of this Humbrol mask, and I've gone around and I've filled in the windows all around the outside of this with this mask, so that way I can glue the rest of it together. You can see how the light will shine through, and I've glued it all together here, and that way I can paint it. And I'm also going to mask off the two lights on these clear pieces on the underside here, so that the LEDs that go in here will shine through the lights, but I don't want paint to cover that up. Obviously, paint just goes around the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and also put some mask to cover up those, as you can see here. And now I've got this ready to be primed and painted. And then it just attaches to the bottom portion here. And you have the full nose of the ship. So this is the battery and their lights and the little board that the light kit comes with. And you've got a couple lights that light up the windows. You have this light here that lights up the bridge. It goes in the top. These two go back here to light up the windows all around the edge here. And I'm just gonna tape it up here just to do a quick little test and see how it looks. And these are not very bright looking, just like that. It's not very bright, and also it's pinpoint lights, so that's not good. So I have this sheet of some like frosted vellum that I'm going to use as a diffusion. I'm going to double it up here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and I'm going to run it along the inside, and also paint the inside with some gloss white paint first. So it's all painted, then I'm going to put my diffusion in front of the windows, and then hopefully this will help with the light and disperse the light more and make it more even throughout the windows. And you can see that makes a huge bit of difference. Although it's still a little dim on the outer edges and it's still not super bright like I would like it to be. So I think I'm going to use an LED strip. I have this little piece here that I'm just going to use as a test, and you can see huge difference. The sides light up. I mean, that's just using 3 on a strip. I'll use a bigger strip when I actually do it, but that makes a huge difference. So anyway, I've got this whole assembly here ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead and get to the priming and main body color painting portion so that I can continue on and do the lighting. So I've gone and I've primed the entire thing here, and I primed it together so that where the model comes together, like in here, the seams are not covered with paint. That way I can still glue it together without paint getting in the way. I thought it was easier to paint it this way rather than try to mask off the seams, and you can see the seams are unpainted here in the front so that I can glue it together. And doing a little light test, there's no light leak whatsoever in that upper bridge section. So that's good. I do have the LED in there, and I just want to make sure there's no light leak. And then later on down the road when I'm ready, I should be able to just peel off that mask that I put there, and it should expose the red clear windows. And really quickly before I go on and paint, we have the torpedo launch tube here, which consists of 3 pieces. LED goes in here, shines through a clear red piece, and then comes out the front. And I've gone and I've masked off the front here so I can glue it inside. And then I've gone and I've primed the inside of the launch tube and glued the clear plastic piece to this other piece here, and that'll just attach to the back to illuminate the inside of the tube. And just a quick little test so you can see what it looks like. You can see the tube lighting up and glowing red there. But I'm also going to use some Tamiya. I'm going to use soot. It's a nice dark color. And I'm going to take some of this Tamiya pastel soot, and I'm just going to run it around the inside and make it look like it's kind of charred and burned, like torpedoes have been passing through there. And I've gone and glued that into position in the bottom portion of this front section here. But I'm going to hold off on gluing this piece until I've done some more painting, because I don't want any paint getting in there on that clear red. But that's how it's going to look once it's together. So for the main body color, I'm going to use this JA green, or this is the darkest green color I'm going to use, and I'm going to airbrush this on throughout the entire body here. And I'm just going to go around and airbrush this. I'm using my darkest green color as the base coat, because then what I'll do is when I do the other shades and colors, I'll just do lighter. I'll mask off the dark areas and then just build up with lighter colors. So I've got this whole section done here with my darkest green, the JA green, and I'm going to start from there. So this is all ready to go. You can see that it's just nice clean coating all around it, pretty evenly coated. Even there's a little bit of, you know, not ununiformity or whatever you want to call it. That's fine, because it's just gonna make it look more weathered. But anyway, this is gonna be it for this episode. Next episode I will move on to rigging all the lights inside and getting those mounted, and then probably move on to the next portion. I don't know if I'm going to get into doing the detailed painting of this section yet, but I'm at least going to get the lights mounted, get the rest of it securely glued together so that I can move on and start getting the next sub-assembly going. So once again, thanks for taking the time out for watching me. Hey, if you like watching my videos, please feel free to give them a like. And so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, click subscribe.